Hello everyone, my name is Anshu Saxena and the topic I'll be presenting today is fetal alcohol syndrome. The term fetal alcohol syndrome, which is also known as FAS, was introduced in 1973 by Jones and Smith. Fetal alcohol syndrome consists of the combination of reduced growth, unusual facial features, behavioral problems, and oftentimes mental retardation that occur in an individual as a result of the mother drinking alcohol during her pregnancy. According to Dr. Anne Streisguth, fetal alcohol syndrome now is recognized as the leading known cause of mental retardation in the US, surpassing Down syndrome and spina bifida. Fetal alcohol syndrome comes under fetal alcohol spectrum disorders, which are alcohol related birth defects, alcohol related neurodevelopmental disorders, fetal alcohol effects, and FAS represents the severe end of the spectrum of birth defects caused by alcohol. Fetal alcohol effect is the terminology used to describe abnormalities that are less severe than those in FAS or that are present in an individual whose mother abused alcohol but who does not have all the features of the FAS. Alcohol crosses the placenta barrier and can stunt fetal growth or weight, create distinctive facial stigmata, damage neurons and brain structures, which can result in psychological or behavioral problems and cause other physical damage. Approximately 1 in 7 pregnant women drink alcohol at some time during their pregnancy. In the US, between 2,000 and 12,000 infants are born with FAS each year, and as many as 50,000 with FAE. Lifetime cost for a person suffering from FAS is approximately around 5 million, and the burden of this disease on taxpayers is approximately around 1.9 billion per year. FAS and other alcohol related birth defects cannot be cured. Maternal alcohol abuse causes permanent damage to CNS. Some of the serious birth defects that are caused by alcohol may occur if the mother abuses alcohol even before she might realize that she is pregnant. FAS is 100% preventable condition if a woman decide not to drink alcohol while she is pregnant. Slide number 5 is a timeline of FAS history. Warnings about alcohol use and pregnancy date back to 1700 by Sir Francis Bacon. Dr. Sullivan was the first who documented alcohol and infant death in 1899. Approximately 45 years later, in an article in JMA, concluded that children of alcoholics had defects related to genetics rather than alcohol exposure. In early 1973, Jones and Smith coined the term fetal alcohol syndrome, and in 2005, 6 years ago, the US Surgeon General issued an updated advisory for alcohol use and pregnancy. Slide number 6 is FAS incidence and frequency distribution, and sadly American Indian and Alaska natives experience some of the highest rates of fetal alcohol spectrum disorders in the United States. In some areas such as Alaska, the incidence of fetal alcohol syndrome is nearly 4 times higher in American Indians and Alaska natives than within the general US population. It's approximately 13 to 103 per 10,000 live births. The high rate of fetal alcohol syndrome among American Indians, Alaska natives and African Americans can be due to lack of education, various drinking patterns, cultural influences and other differences such as fertility, nutrition and metabolic differences among themselves. State-wise, North Dakota and South Dakota, Maine, New Mexico, which is followed by Montana, Washington, Florida, Arizona and other states have high incidence of fetal alcohol syndromes. Slide number 7 is showing the state-specific weighted prevalence estimates of alcohol use among women aged 18 to 44 years, and this data can be related to the previous slide. Slide number 8 to 11 are a bit dense as they are describing the diagnostic criteria for FAS according to CDC. The CDC diagnostic criteria for FAS comes under mainly 3 headings, that is facial dysmorphia, growth problems, and central nervous system abnormalities. Facial dysmorphia consists of a smooth philtrum, thin vermilion border, small palpable fissures. Growth problems consists of confirmed prenatal and postnatal height or weight or both at or below the 10th percentile, documented at any point in time. Central nervous system abnormalities are mainly 3. First, structural, which has head circumference at or below the 10th percentile adjusted for age and sex. Clinically significant brain abnormalities observable through radiographic imaging. Second is neurological, and neurological problems not due to a postnatal insult or fever or other soft neurological signs outside normal limits. Third are functional problems, which are performance substantially below that expected for an individual's age, schooling, or circumstances, as evidenced by these 2 criteria, and these also include cognitive or developmental deficits or discrepancies, executive functioning deficits, motor functioning delays, problems with attention or hyperactivity, social skills, and other problems. Maternal alcohol exposure is also described by CDC as confirmed prenatal alcohol exposure and unknown prenatal alcohol exposure, for example in an adopted child. And all the 3 criteria for FAS diagnosis should be fulfilled to diagnose it as FAS. And the slide number 12 is showing the clinical features of FAS. First are the facial dysmorphia, which includes smooth philtrum, thin vermilion border. Second are the growth problems, which might include stunt height, low weight, or both at below the 10th percentile. 14th slide is showing an MRI. The first picture is a vertical section of brain showing corpus callosum, hippocampus, and diencephalon. And there are various abnormalities as compared to the normal left hand picture, which is A, as compared to pictures B and C. There are several common disorders identified with FASD. Mainly these are autism and Asperger's disorder, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, borderline personality disorder, attachment bonding disorder, depression, learning disability, oppositional defiant disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, receptive expressive language disorder, conduct disorder, and sometimes diabetes. Slide number 16 is a comparison between the congenital effects from alcohol and other recreational drugs, and as we can see, alcohol is causing more damage than any other recreational drug, and all the drugs and alcohol are known teratogens. Coming on the treatment part on slide number 17, unfortunately there is no cure for FAS because the CNS damage which is done by alcohol is permanent and it creates a permanent disability. But it can be prevented. The only certain way to prevent FAS is to simply avoid drinking alcohol during pregnancy. Slide number 18 is showing the prevention, screening and diagnosis of FAS through various public health and social services. And after the screening of high risk substance abuse pregnant women, these can be motivated and their lifestyle and behavior can be modified. And there are also some newer medications such as naltrexone and nalmefene. These are newer drugs to manage alcohol dependence. Those women who have a higher drinking during pregnancy are the most unfortunate ones, as most of them have babies born with FAS. Slide number 19 is the management of FAS depending on the diagnosis. If the FAS is diagnosed earlier, this condition can be managed through medication, special education and social services, and immune modulation. Late diagnosis of FAS cases are really unfortunate because the abnormalities are permanent and they can only be intervened by various behavioral and cognitive therapies, and there should be a treatment for associated birth defects. Some conditions can also be managed through medications which are mainly psychotropic in nature. If we see the future outlook, there are many things which needs to be done. Some are to improve the clinical recognition of women's at-risk drinking behavior before and during pregnancy, intervene more effectively to modify drinking behavior during pregnancy, develop in utero approaches derived from basic research to prevent or minimize alcohol-induced prenatal injury, determine more effective ways to identify FAS and ARND across the lifespan, especially in infants and children, develop strategies to address neurodevelopmental and learning problems of children with FAS and ARND, including the use of appropriate behavioral and cognitive therapies. Some medications and special education programs need to be run so that this problem can be diagnosed in earlier stages and can be treated. So this includes my presentation. This includes all the main topics under FAS, and this concludes my presentation on fetal alcohol syndrome. Thank you for watching.